There have been some amazing NBA teams in recent history. The 2016 Warriors, the Big Three Heat, the 2008 Celtics, and as always, the Spurs from pretty much any season. But where do these teams rank against the all-time great teams, the 72-win Bulls, the 33-winning streak Lakers, and other historical teams? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Each team will be graded by talent, record, whether or not they won a championship, and other team achievements like winning streaks. Now, we're going to share our opinion, but make sure you watch till the end of this video to see how you can let your voice be heard on this topic. For now, let's get started. Number 10, the 1992 Chicago Bulls. You knew at least one of the Jordan Bulls teams would be on here, right? With 6 rings, there was plenty to pick from. We decided to start with the 92 Bulls, the winners of 67 games, including a 14-game winning streak. This was even before the peak Bulls with a rounded-out cast of role players like Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, and others. In all fairness, they did have Horace Grant, a great power forward to fill the spot, but this Bulls team mostly relied on Michael Jordan and his sidekick Scottie Pippen, which wasn't really a problem. Jordan averaged over 30 points a game that season, 34 in the playoffs, and won regular season MVP and finals MVP. Number 9, the 2008 Boston Celtics. Imagine putting a team together centered around 3 guys who average 25 points a game. That's basically the epitome of a super team, a non-stop force of superstars that no one would be able to beat. And that's exactly what the 2008 Celtics were. The team featured Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, and the cherry on top, the White Mamba himself, Brian Scalabrine. Yeah, no one wanted to face this team, and everyone knew as soon as those guys signed their contract, the championship was theirs. They finished the season with a 66-16 record and posted the best single-season turnaround in NBA history, improving by 42 wins from the previous season. Their 66 wins was just one shy of the 67-win 1986 Celtics, which was also the last Celtics team to win a championship. The 2008 Celtics road to a title was anything but easy. They played the most games a team had ever played in a postseason with 26, but they proved to have the heart of a champion. Number 8, the 1971 Milwaukee Bucks. Any team with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the top 10 greatest players of all time, is bound to make any list of the greatest teams. You pair Oscar Robertson with Kareem, and you've got a nearly unbeatable team. In the franchise's 3rd year of existence, the 1971 Bucks went 66-16 and had the 5th longest winning streak of all time at 20. They were 1st in offensive rating, 1st in defensive rating, 1st in points per game, and tore through the league, winning playoff series against Wilt Chamberlain and the Lakers and Wes Unseld and the Bullets on their way to winning an NBA title. Number 7, the 2013 Miami Heat. There are 3 simple reasons why the 2013 Heat are on this list. Number 1, the roster. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, enough said. Number 2, along with their 66-16 record, they also had the 2nd longest winning streak in NBA history at 27 games. And number 3, their finals series with the Spurs, one of the best Spurs teams ever, and the way they fought to win. This Heat team set numerous records that season, including the most wins in a month and the most double-digit wins in the postseason. LeBron James solidified his legend as one of the greatest ever by tying the record for scoring at least 30 points in 4 consecutive Game 7s and setting the record for the highest scoring average ever in Game 7s. Number 6, the 1967 Philadelphia 76ers. The 1967 Sixers were one of the first truly great teams in the NBA. Of course, having Wilt Chamberlain will do that for a franchise, but it was more than that. Aside from Wilt's 24 points, 24 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, the Sixers had Hal Greer and Chet Walker, 2 wing players that were terrific outside shooters but could also drive the lane and get their own shot. Perfect for a dominant inside guy like Wilt. Both averaged about 20 points a game, and that's not even mentioning the 3 other players that averaged double digits. The '67 Sixers beat Oscar Robertson and the Royals, Bill Russell and the Celtics, and finally Rick Barry and the Warriors in the playoffs en route to a hard-fought championship. They set numerous records, including the most wins and the best 50-game start in NBA history. They were clearly the greatest team of their time. Number 5, the 1997 Chicago Bulls. They aren't the 72-win Bulls, but they got pretty darn close, winning 69 games. In fact, the only thing separating the 72-win Bulls from the 69-win Bulls is pretty much just that, the 3 fewer wins. The longest losing streak they had was a whopping 2 losses. Jordan dominated in his usual fashion, averaging nearly 30 points a game, and Phil Jackson worked his usual magic on the sideline. At this point in the Bulls era, there wasn't really anyone in the league who could stop them. They outscored opponents by over 10 points a game and lost only 4 games in the playoffs. With Jordan outscoring everyone, Pippen filling pretty much every gap, and Dennis Rodman grabbing every rebound in the game, these Bulls would beat just about any team they faced from any era. Number 4, the 1986 Boston Celtics. Considered by some to be the greatest team ever, the 1986 Celtics featured 5 future Hall of Famers, many of whom are considered among the greatest of all time at their position. MVP Larry Bird, former 6th Man of the Year Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, Robert Parrish, and the 6th Man of the Year and former MVP Bill Walton formed a fearsome rotation that opponents just couldn't handle. It almost wasn't fair. This team had everything: scoring, passing, defense, rebounding, and depth. There were virtually no weaknesses. And with the team's beautiful ball movement and unselfish play, it's no wonder they won as many games as they did. In fact, for the entire season, they lost only 1 home game. They breezed through the playoffs, sweeping the Jordan Bulls and finishing off Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets in 6 games, winning the franchise's 16th championship. Number 3, the 1972 Los Angeles Lakers. The 1972 Lakers won 69 games, tied for the 3rd best in NBA history. But what's more impressive is their record-setting winning streak, which topped out at 33 wins in a row. This team was loaded with Hall of Famers, including Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, and Gail Goodrich. The team was so out of this world that they averaged over 120 points on nearly 50% shooting, outscoring their opponent by over 12 points a game. The best part was that this was the year Jerry West finally got his ring, beating the Knicks 4-1 in the NBA Finals. Number 2, the 2016 Golden State Warriors. The Warriors' recent loss in the finals will sting for a while, but there's no denying that they were one of the greatest teams ever, just not so much in the playoffs. But looking at the regular season, the Warriors had arguably the greatest season ever, winning an NBA record 73 games, including a 24-game winning streak, the 3rd longest ever. In fact, the Warriors were so dominant that they never lost back-to-back games through the entire season. With Steph Curry and Klay Thompson's unbelievable shooting range, the Warriors put on a show every game and beat their opponent by an average of more than 10 points. The Warriors broke over 25 NBA records in this season, including the most road wins, the best start, and the most three-pointers made in a season. Number 1, the 1996 Chicago Bulls. So yeah, the Warriors surpassed the 72-10 Bulls, but without a ring to cap it off, it's just not the same. The Jordan Bulls dominated the 90s, and the 96 season was the pinnacle of that. Not only did they dominate in the regular season, but they also crushed the league in the playoffs, going 15-3 in the postseason, including 2 series sweeps, also surpassing the 2016 Warriors postseason record of 15-9. The 1996 Bulls featured Coach of the Year Phil Jackson, 6th Man of the Year Tony Kukoc, 2 All-NBA first-team players, 3 All-Defensive first-team players, and of course, the man who made it all possible, Michael Jordan, who won regular season MVP and finals MVP after averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in the postseason. So those are the top 10 greatest teams in NBA history.